Here is the data that we have received as result of survey in the form of groups, and against each group there is a number called frequency of that group. For example, the class 0 to 9 has frequency 1 and the class 10 to 19 has the frequency 3. So the classes versus frequency, and we want to plot this data on the graph using spreadsheets. Before we get started with the graphs, I want you to know one more thing. I used asterisk sign along with the class. This is because if you don't put the asterisk sign with the class, Microsoft Excel is going to treat 0 to 9 as a date. And if Excel will treat 0 to 9 or 10 to 19 or 20 to 29 as a date, you won't have classes at the horizontal axis. That will not produce the intended results. That's why I wanted Excel to treat this as a special class of numbers, and that's why I put asterisk sign, so that Microsoft Excel automatically doesn't assume anything. But now once we have the data and we want to make a graph out of this data, we click on the Insert tab, and when we click on the Insert tab, there is the group below Insert tab that appears. But our data has gone behind the groups. So if you tap twice on the tab, there you go. So once you tab twice on the tab, the groups will stay there, shifting your data further below. So now we have the data and we have Insert tab, and the groups below the Insert tab are all visible, so the all commands are available to us. Now we look for the kind of graphs that is required, and here in charts group, if you click on this arrow, that's the column charts. This is what we want, so we pick up the first one, but as you can see, there is nothing has happened. The reason is because our data is not selected. So first we need to select data. So let's select data here by dragging our cursor over these. So now the data is selected, and if now you will click on Insert tab and then on these column charts, this is going to make a chart available to us. In Microsoft Excel, there are many type of charts, whichever you want, but those charts will be further taught while we'll be doing Excel. So here we can add chart elements if we want these axes to be horizontal and primary horizontal lines. You can see those grid lines, axis title, chart titles, data labels. So if we turn off this primary horizontal, so you will see if the primary horizontal is checked off, so what is that you can see that on the horizontal axis, the labels, the classes, those become available if this is checked, and if the axes are turned off, then those labels will not appear there. So let's have those axis data available, and similarly you can see the vertical data that, or you can turn it off. And the next item is axis title. So if you want the axis title, here axis title, you can make axis title primary horizontal, and here you can type whatever title you want. So you can say classes or age or marks, and you can turn it off as well. So let's turn it off. And then next is chart title. So if the chart title is turned on right now, if okay, so chart title and allowed chart, above chart, that's where this title is gone now. If you want this title to go away, select it and then you can delete it. Anyways, this tab is really handy. Chart title is done, and data labels. If you want the values to appear just above the so data inside or in the center, you can see that the values are appearing inside those bars. But if you don't want these values, you can turn that feature off as well, or can take the values above or below wherever you want. So data labels, these are called data labels. I would say none and they will go away. So here, data labels and error bars, grid lines. The grid lines, there are major grid lines and there are minor grid lines. You can see that primary major horizontal, primary major vertical lines. So depend on whatever type, and if you don't want anything at all, you can turn all of them off. And the legend, if we want, there is only one. So these are some basic elements of the chart, and that's how you can produce the chart in Microsoft Excel.